Okay, are you tired of trying to stay consistent? Do you feel like it's a constant challenge to show up for your dreams and the things that you promised yourself while still juggling all the other things you need to do in this physical life reality that you have agreed to almost invisibly?
In all the ways that I need to be me, is the fence to...
Welcome to the Flow State podcast for Limitless Creator Spirits, for any creator who are ready to chase the dream, building alternative lifestyle, starting with an alternative income. I actually, this very Sunday of this recording, felt exactly that. I felt like I have so many things that I know I truly want to do them more than anything, but I don't have a clear system, and I have sometimes challenges when it comes to differentiating, okay, what did I promise myself, or between what was just ideas that I received. And when we face the habits of our subconscious mind, the data and the programs already installed, because in this dimension, in the current form that we are experiencing through, we are habitual beings. And if you haven't made room for your inner callings in many years, maybe you just started, and whenever you enter that inner stage, your inner dimensions, your inner world, you know you can do it. You feel uplifted, you feel alive. But when it comes to actually executing, that is when everything just falls apart. And today I woke up too late. I am currently privately working on getting back to my morning habits. For many years, I had this thing that I called morning ritual, magic morning ritual. I even have an alarm named that, the magic morning ritual. And for many years, I got up 5 a.m. or even earlier. I did my journaling, I did some workout, and I also had like an alternative approach, and that is when I woke up, I just put on my clothes, my shoes, and went out for a 90-minute walk. Also something that I really, really love. And for some reason, I have been struggling getting back to those morning routines. So this morning was nothing, extraordinary. My husband came and kissed me on the lips and said, "Good morning, it's time to get up." So I did. And it's Sunday, and it's a day that I really want to spend with my family, of course, but also spend on myself, or rather with myself, to entering those inner worlds and tapping into the power that comes from that source and building the lifestyle that I want to live by hereby on. So I attended, I had duty in the cafeteria for my kids' soccer game. And it's a lot of that when you are a mom to 2 boys loving sports. And there is a lot of things for the parents to do these days. And well, I love to contribute. It's not about that. I just sometimes feel a little bit resistance to the whole idea that being delegated tasks that you haven't approved of. And I am an advocate for asking. You can just pretty much get me to do pretty much anything when it comes to contributing with things just by asking. Ask and you will receive. If somebody says, pick up the clothes or do this or that, I'm like a kid. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But if you say, could you please help me with this? I'm instantly like, yes, of course. So that is actually, I think, it's not to helping out and contribute that I questioning. It's the whole curling our kids, the conceptual approach that we should just, agree to everything just because somebody else said that this is the right way. But anyway, when I got home from there, I really felt, okay, let me start a little backstory. In the morning, I went up and did my little the artist's way journaling in my own version. I've done that for years because I felt like, yeah, this is valuable to me, so I will not skip it just because I have little time to get dressed and getting ready. So I did just maybe like 15 minutes or so. And when we went, I actually felt pretty inspired. I was like, yeah, when I get home, I know that I have things to do that I want to do, so I will just go ahead and do them. But what happened when I got home? Well, I were hungry, I were tired, and my comfort zone, the voice of my comfort zone, were telling me, oh, why don't you just, lie on the couch for the rest of the day and binge watch Netflix? I mean, do you deserve it? And it's Sabbath and all of that. But I challenged that voice because I have heard it many times throughout the years, and it's so easy to take directions not from thoughts articulated through the medium of us, our spirit, our true selves really being conscious and present. It's just, these habitual thoughts you don't even often notice are there. So I was like, no, wait a minute. That sounds good, but how will that actually help me create the life filled with the things that I want more of and the things that I love? And that is to help other creators building their aligned businesses. So I took a moment and just, cleaned up the kitchen, prepared some lunch for myself and my kid. And then I decided, because the thing was, how I decided that I would not listen to that paradigm, the old paradigm voice. I would actually take action. So that was the decision. But then we came to the next part. Okay, but how do I actually take action? And for me, the problem is not, it used to be the lack of dopamine that I have sometimes due to the ADHD functions of my mind. And that is really a struggle. If you know, you know. Intellectually, it shouldn't be that hard, but your whole physical being is pretty much screaming at you, I don't want to. That used to be my struggle, but not anymore. Now, the struggle is not that huge, but I still sense it. It's that I have so many different things that I want to do, and it is a challenge to organizing, okay, which one to prioritize, because I want to do it all. But I have my method that I've named 15 minutes to success. Very cheesy, I know, cliche and everything, but that is often where the true magic lies, or rather these are the signposts that points us towards the real source of everything, the real source of infinite truth. And this method is so easy. It's so simple. I just set the timer for 15 minutes, pretty much self-explanatory. And then I just go ahead. I just start with whatever task. This also helps me to not get stuck in the phase of trying to figure out which task to prioritize, because it's only 15 minutes, so that I don't have to feel like, okay, I spend the whole day doing this, but I should actually have prioritized that. It's just about getting started, to open the spaces where you can tap into your creative power and actually take action. So that's what I did. And I decided that I will make this week's article, or at least the outlines for the article. This is the background of this episode. If you are watching the video format, the 15 minutes to get things done. So I started just to write down, and one title was "Done Not Keeping My Words," and that is the element of this entire episode, because I really know what it feels like when you want to take action upon your dreams, but the struggle is not that the desire isn't there or that the determination isn't there. It's how to actually transform that into the physical reality with all of the data already collected in our human body mind vehicle, but also the sensation of all the musts that we kind of somehow feel like we had agreed to without actually signing anything, without actually saying yes to anything. So this was the article, and I had actually no idea what to write, rather than I wanted to mention my 15-minute method because it has helped me so much throughout the years. It was actually the very method. It's the essence of me actually finishing my very first album as an independent music artist and release it on Spotify. Well, I had other additional systems and frameworks related to that, but this was the one that really got me started. Because sometimes we often hear, you need to take a decision. But I also know that we are many creators that have done that. We have recognized that there is something deeper within. We are determined to follow that passion, follow that voice, but still it is a struggle. So the 15-minute method is a very simple framework to just get started. And it's not about viewing it like this magical framework that will solve anything. It's just, how should I put it? It's a way to break the habitual programs of your ego mind identity. It's a way to break the habitual thoughts by taking action. And you probably know all this, but when somebody says, just take action, that can feel so massive because, first of all, you don't know what action to start with. And secondly, for how long? With a 15-minute, it's just 15 minutes. But the magic with the 15-minute is that often when you apply it, it's more like a key to that spaces within you, the divine spaces within you, and you open the portal to them. And once you're there, you start to receive the messages, the flow from your spirit, from the universe, from God, whatever you want to call it. And you get clarity. You get, okay, something is wrong with my camera. you get so much clarity from just visiting that dimension inside of yourself by taking the physical outside action to enter the inside. And I also wrote a little bit about my new way of planning and organizing things, the visual way, because taking action is so important. Planning and organizing, I don't want to plan too much. I really want to find that magic bridge of really living from the inside out, meaning tapping into the creative flow, tapping into the guidance from the spirit, but still juggle the things outside of myself and the physical reality. And there is where planning comes in. And even though time is just a concept, just an illusion. It's still a concept that we can apply to support us. And that's the same thing with planning. I don't want to plan my entire life. I don't believe that you need to know the how. All you need to know is the what. Okay, what is it that you want? What is it that you feel? What is the vibrant guidance that comes from within you? You don't need to know the how. It unfolds once you take action upon that emotional guidance, that vibrant, that energetic guidance, when you are present enough to tap into it. But also, planning is just like using the concept of time. Planning can also help you get you to that state within yourself. So let's say that my coming schedule for the week is filled with all the mundane tasks and the sensation of all the things that I must do, without me leverage the concepts that really much that really already are controlling the way how I experiencing my life and my reality. It's just dumb. Excuse me. But to leverage the concepts instead of just rejecting them and stating that these are just illusions, these are just concepts. Okay, but since these very concepts already are taking so much of my attention and how I live my life, how I perceive my life, how I perceive my reality, why not use the very same concept consciously? So that is when you can plan the spaces for you to enter your inner stages. You can plan the 15-minute method daily. That is actually my recommendation. If you feel like, okay, I want consistency, I want to not only show up for the dream that I'm creating, but show up in that space as myself, liberated from definition of identity and words. The 15-minute method can really help you to do so. And another thing that I've discovered, since I always say that I recently started Substack. I started Substack like 6 months ago, but I am still really learning the platform and figuring things out. But I love Substack. I think it's the next level of can we say physical medium for us to express our inner dimensions, our spirit's desire to experience, create, and express. And for me, that was in the beginning YouTube. It still is a wonderful medium, and that is how I view YouTube, as a medium for us, for anyone, for the creators inside of ourselves wanting to be led out. YouTube is just a medium. Substack is also just medium, but this medium comes with such a functions that really can support us in that journey. And I realized that I really love the visual aspect of Substack, because for me, who often feel like I want to declutter all my ideas, I want to structure and organize them. For me, Substack is like a software, a Canva for me to do so. So they have in this, in the web app that I preferably want to use, when you go ahead and to write an article, first of all, everything is auto-saved. I love that. But then you can add templates for your articles. And for me, the name article is just a name. You can have different formats. You can have you can add a template for how you structure your offers. You can have a template for how you capture your ideas. You can have templates for how you what segments you want to include in your podcast or your YouTube video or in your article. So I thought, okay, why not use the benefits of the visual, how it speaks to me anyway, also when it comes to plan my days and my week. And this is such meta for me because I often state this, and it's true. For me, Google Drive is the back office, the headquarters of my business, where I store and capture everything related to anything. So I will continue to do so because I store my videos, my photos, everything. It's my cloud from my phone, but also where I build my business. It's also, I often create my offers in a Google Sheet. And then I share that sheet for anyone who wants to invest in that and in themselves, of course. But what I meant when I said that leverage the constant stream of ideas by using the medium of Substack, and in this case planning, is to outline my plans for the week or for the month, for the season, for the day. And first of all, it gives me the visual declutter because I can add bullet points, I can add headlines. You can do that in Google as well, but for some reason, it doesn't attract me as much as the visual in Substack. Just let me see that I'm still recording. Okay, I only have 4 minutes to go, so I need to speed this up. And when I say meta, so let's say that like today, I wrote an article mixed with my thoughts, a little bit diary entries, and also the to-dos for today. Yes, I wrote down today's to-do, Substack as my new fun planning assistant. That was a note for this episode. And then I added record, produce this week flow state episode. Yes, that is what I'm doing now. And outline scripts, episode, and offers. That is creating templates regarding that. Okay, adding templates. So I say all this to say that I don't believe in gatekeeping. I believe in authentic expression, and authentic expression is not about building your brand from the limitations of your intellect. It's about building your personal brand by following the guidance and directions from within, meaning follow your flow, follow your passion, and trust that it will, the dot will connect afterwards. You don't need to have things figured out. And so by, for example, planning my week to come, I have that already in Substack. And then as the week goes along, I can add my notes, I can add my thoughts, I can add my recorded video links. And then by the end of the week, I have everything. And then I can pull from there. I can publish the entire article as it is for my subscribers. I can use the section about the offer and post it, let's say, on Instagram. I can take the entire article as a skeleton script for a yapping podcast episode or for a YouTube video. Since I am recording this through Canva, I only have 25 minutes. So I will wrap this episode up. Really glad that you are here. I've also started my community. Please feel free to check it out. I love to hear about your journey, your dreams, and your process.
In all the ways that I need to be me, this defense to your company. Build you a castle and you will find what is out before you tear it all down. Really thought that we had gotten somewhere, but spoke my mind and it disappeared. The band that I thought we had built, but you're and why do they owe? Forth and back, this pattern is old. Endless hours of superficial talk and manners. I'm the odd bird and you hold the banner. Yeah,